Sir, hello, geniuses. This is Christina Brujon with Coin Genius. We are here with Crypto Kyle on a glorious Sunday, July 5th, day after 4th of July. So, Genius Wednesdays, Coin Genius predicted you're going to see some volatility. Crypto Kyle said, let's hop on and let's do some live trades. So, here we go. Kyle, you can take it away.
Cool. So another almost all-nighter. um, Fireworks till 3 in the morning. My mind was a little off. I entered some trades at a bad time. So today we're going to go over what to do if you enter a trade in a bad time and what we currently got going on and how to get out of them. So these are all leverage futures trades, nothing higher than 15 times leverage. I'm in 4 trades right now. As you see down here, I'm losing a lot theoretically, but I'm also gaining a lot. So over here is my meter. James saw this yesterday when we went live. I ideally like to stay under 10%, but right now I have to cover my ass for all of these losing trades and make gains outside of there to hedge against these losses. So I'm taking a little extra capital on the side, even though I should have $900 to cover that. I'll be paying like $25 fee every 4 hours or something if I don't have enough in here to cover this. This is pumping. I'm probably going to sell off, so I'm just going for mini wins. So let's look at what I did yesterday. Like, I'm going to talk about my flaw, and I've pretty much spent years and years like trying to dig into my own mind to stop doing bad habits. And everybody has bad habits at some point, I think. As you see right here is my point, my profit and loss, which means I bought a region and I actually lowered it by adding more when I showed that to James yesterday. And I thought we were about to breach it and I was going to cash out right here, but we never made it. And it just kept selling off. And I'm like, damn. Okay, so we were down to negative $1,400 about right here. I'm like, okay, it can't keep going lower. But you see a head and shoulders here. So this is a massive head and shoulders, shoulder, shoulder, head. But we had a double head and shoulders. So that's as big as a head and shoulders as you can pretty much get. I mean, this is only a 5-minute chart, but one of my things that I teach is the patterns. And here's Triple Mountain Peak, 1, 2, 3. This would be the bottom. We don't count that as the bottom. This was the correction because it sat right here at a very solid support before we started taking off. So 1, 2, 3, Triple Mountain Peak up. And then we had kind of a double top, but it was a lower low from our high point. And so we knew we were going to start descending. And you can see the crossover right here on the MACD. And I knew I was going to dump. I'm like, okay, well, I can save myself. I'll dump down here, and then we were at profit and loss up here. I'm like, okay, I'll buy a bigger position to lower this point down to here, and then I'll just break out of it once we get even. I was at negative $400 right here, and I didn't want to take a $400 loss. It's like, okay, it might correct a little bit, but it just kept going down. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get in some other trades to make some money to make up for this loss so that I don't hit liquidation point. Okay, this is more like advanced strategies. I don't recommend this to other people until like you get a hold of like one trade at a time and you start winning. So down here we saw like pretty good rebound, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And we started going back up. I'm like, okay, I'll take some of this extra capital that we got over here. So we started with $1,033 on July 1st, and we're at 5609. I was at 6,300 in the middle of the night, but I had to sell off position, take a $500 loss to, I didn't have to, but I was at like 50% here. And I was like, okay, if something keeps dumping, I do not want to face liquidation. So I sold off a position, took a $500 loss, which I can get back pretty fast. And I was like, all right, whatever. My position was $900. I took a $500 loss, put $400 back up here because I did 900. I'm playing with house money at this point, so to me that does not matter at all. So that's what I did. I sold off a position to fluff up some of these positions and got into other position. I knew this was going to break out because this was our first leg up. I was like, okay, so this could be a good potential trade. And how did I find it? I literally just went over here and I just started looking at, okay, all red, what only green coins right now. And then I saw Adam was at like 2%. And I'm like, oh, Adam's kind of doing something. Let's see what's going on here. We'll theoretically do ONT because we're already in Adam. So I just clicked it. I was like, what do you got for me? And so I searched around, and I'm not messing with like top alts right now because they're kind of chilling while the lower end alts are kind of just pumping. So right here, I don't like these charts. It's just too much up and down, up and down. This is not my trade style. This is a trade style for other people that like to swing trade like up, down every couple minutes. And with high leverage, let's say 10 to 20 times leverage, let's see, this is 56 cents. That's 58 cents. So 2 cents, you take 2 cents and put it into 56. That's about, I don't know, like 1 or 2. But if you do leverage, let's say you did 15 times leverage, that's actually 15%. So I know a lot of stock traders, like they're happy to have 10% in the end of like a day or a couple days. If you can do leverage like this and you can get 15% in like 5 minutes, why do you want to go waste a full day in the stock market? That's why I don't trade stocks. That's why I trade crypto. But then again, it's very volatile. Anyway, this is not a type of chart that I like. It has no fluidity to it. I like waves. I like fat, juicy charts. Like this one has more movement. It's not so choppy up and down. I mean, down here it was, but you started to see it break out and go to a lower high, which was slightly above this point right here. Like, okay. I actually bought in here and sold there, so I had already gotten that. And then I rebought after I saw it dump, and I think I did another small sell, $40. And so I just had swinging back and forth to increase my wallet size over here to ensure that I could lower my my margin ratio down here because I want to get it as close to 10% as I possibly can so that I can breathe and I can go walk away and exercise and go to the gym or go outside and do whatever, work on the house, whatever. I can walk away from my computer for a couple hours. So that's kind of what I'm doing to supplement this while I'm taking losses here. And this was actually down to 1,500. I was down to negative 2,000. So I'm actually doing pretty good right now. And all this is theoretical because until I'm liquidated and this is my zone, I was like, okay, if it gets down to here, I might actually buy some more crypto and then send it over just to fluff up my position. And then later I'll just take that money right back out because I'm trying to keep track of if I can turn 1,000 into 10,000 or 100,000 or whatever amount. So I put in 600 and I'm going to take out 600 later after I get out of these positions and close that profit. And I'll just take my 600 back out so I can keep track of what I'm actually doing with that $1,000 and see, kind of gauge myself if I'm making more mistakes than I should be. Because right here I made a mistake because I had to wait like, I don't know, a day and a half. This cost me $100 in fees from Binance because if you don't have this amount of money over here, after every 4 hours, the biggest position or the first position, this is my first position out of all of them, they'll start charging you a fee and Binance will send you an email saying you got to pay $25 if you don't add more capital or close some of your position to free up this position here. So from that point, I'm just like, all right, I got to just play the long game. Let me go flip some other coins. So this was the same kind of thing right here. I fell asleep right here. I was waiting to get there, and I actually could have sold right there and been fine with $100 loss and repositioned myself for a sell and went to sleep and been fine. But I drew the descending wedge and a major support. I guess not major, but as major as you can get for this chart. And looks like we're going back up and we broke out of this wedge. And what you could actually do is look at the support here and support there and go like this. And just see where we headed next. So I mean, I'm not selling until I get profit on this for sure. I need to get above that, or I could buy a bigger position and lower it a little more. But I've already got so much capital down here, and I'm at a loss that I don't do. This is why I'm not entering any more capital into these two negative spots. I'm going into charts that are looking like they can break out, so I can sell there, have my capital on the side, and go find another chart to buy low and sell high and keep getting capital on the side while these are playing catch up. So I'm still gaining, making gains on small trades while I'm waiting for these two to catch up rather than adding to position to try to get back to where I was. So in most cases, most new traders or traders in general might freak out seeing that they're down $2,200, but this is unrealized. So you just play the weight game, and this is why I say don't ever go above like a 10 times. I do 15 because I've been doing it so long, and I'm actually stress testing myself to see if I can get out of sticky situations. Just like when I play my friend and he cornered me, I like to see if I can like pull a slick one and get out of the position. And I do this on purpose sometimes. Sometimes I don't do it on purpose. Like this time I didn't, but I do it on purpose so that I can condition myself to be in any market condition so that I know what to expect and know how to get out of it so I don't lose my money again. Because that's already happened to me once this year in the pandemic, but whatever. So I could have sold right there, but I was not on the screen. But we're still going to keep going up. And how do I know that? Because it's a minute chart. And this trend just started. I mean, we could see a sell-off, but let's see what we're looking like. Okay, it was a double top. These are like up, down, up, down, up, down charts. Ideally, this is not a good position to right up here. That's where I'd want to get in. This is better for a scalp, and that's what I was trying to do, but then I got on this live and I got distracted. So I can still take a win, a small win, but I think we might still go up a little bit. Yeah, even if we go back down there, I'm still where I started, so there's no loss. But my main objective is just to try to keep increasing my capital on the side to fluff up these positions until I can close those and then get out of them and then breathe again and then go look at the whole entire charts or take a breather from the charts and come back with a fresh mind and then re-enter with all my capital while I have no positions open. So that's my ideal objective, to get out of all my positions at a win so that I can go take a breather and take a nap or whatever. So yeah, so my major flaw, and I noticed this, as you see, this is my profit. I don't know what I was thinking. Like maybe because I was going to the roof to check out fireworks and I come back down, going up and down, that I bought here along, or maybe I was meaning to do a short. I don't even recall at this point what I was trying to do. But this is where I have to get to break even. So what I should have done was short it after this massive pump, and that should have been obvious for me. But I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was just going to go down, correct, and go right back up. And I don't know what I was thinking, but that's probably one of my flaws, is buying too high sometimes. So if you're me and you want to not do that, after you see any substantial pump and like a massive wick, just do a short or just wait until you see some sort of support hit again and then catch a rebound, or wait till it all plays out. And that's even something like this, you'd be looking at like a wedge, a breakout wedge, something like that. Just wait till the wedge finishes before you can get back in. Don't even buy in the middle of this trying to catch rebounds, because it's really hard. I noticed that. So that would be my suggestion. And if anybody has any questions that's watching right now, go ahead and throw on your mic and ask away. I don't know if anybody can hear, speak, or anything, but go for it. Let's see what's going on here. Anybody there?
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah. How you doing, Carl?
What's up, James?
Yeah, you good?
What's going on?
Yeah, just watching away,
Yeah. So right now, the market is choppy as hell. I'm gonna pull open another chart, and I'm just gonna show you what the mains are doing and why I stay away from Bitcoin. Um, Here's the thing with Bitcoin. When you see all the Twitter posts and all these people buy Bitcoin, they don't tell you any strategy. People are just hoping that it's going to go up. It's also the biggest cap coin out there, in Bitcoin just to get to 20,000 is a feat in itself, but that's only 100% gains. I can get 100% gains in a day with leverage on alts. So why do I want to sit here on a choppy ass chart like this? This is not ideal for me. I would not just buy Bitcoin and hold. I will never buy Bitcoin and hold again, probably. I'll buy stablecoin, or I'll buy Bitcoin and transfer it to a stablecoin so I can come and swing trade. This is not ideal at all. Look at this chart. It's horrible. Like, I think it's just there because it's granddaddy crypto and it's always going to be around. But even Ethereum at 225 to all-time high is 1400. So that's like 12, 7, like 600 and something percent. No, I don't know. I can't do math right now. 700%. I don't know. Whatever. So if we reach 2017 market cap similarity, and Ethereum is moving at the same pace as Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to give you way more gains than Bitcoin, and it has way more use case because everybody's building on it. So I'm looking at use case coins, and like I think VeChain is pumped because it's sitting at the table with like Microsoft and big companies like that, conglomerates. So that's more like a rumors thing or rumors news type of pump, I think. And that's why VeChain was actually 50%, so it's corrected 35%. It's just kind of crazy. Or maybe it not actually corrected 35% because every 24 hours it resets. So as an hour moves forward, that first hour, let's say this is a 24-hour chart. Let's say we got to right here, and let's say that was a 50% pump. And then we got down to here, and this is like 24 hours later right here. Well, this pump might have been 50% from this point, from the previous 24 hours, but we're down to here, and it might actually have only corrected like 20%. But up here it says it's at 15% now. It's because this erases the previous time from this point to the pump. And so you start correcting. I mean, this isn't the actual chart, so it's hard to give a theoretical like that. But as time moves forward, that 50%, even though it might have corrected like 10 or 15%, might say in the past 24 hours that it's only up 15% because it's already done its pump, if that makes sense. What's going on here?
Hi, Crypto Kyle.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? Happy 4th of July almost to everyone.
Hey, hope you and your son are doing well, and that your favorite coin got listed in Binance finally. So that's cool. Was it what was it? Digibyte. Yeah, it got listed on Binance. So congrats.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I never understood it goes up because it's on Binance, so it's now a lot more people, I guess, have opportunity to buy, but they also have a lot bigger opportunity to sell. But hey, no complaints here, man. It was a pretty chill weekend on all fronts, so knock on wood, I think that's a positive thing. I know I was the one that advocated that the volatility bet might be in, but I actually think that, sorry for interrupting, but Christina, if you want my 2 cents, I actually think the option position was wrong, so take my lump and call it that. But I think that having some of these kind of larger consolidation movements where you don't have things skyrocket or really crater actually shows the market maturity. And on a note of what Crypto Kyle said, I'm an advocate of Ethereum. I'd love to see Ethereum Classic start to have more use, but I guess by owning Ethereum or really owning everything, it's on a price per, movement percentage. Everything is a large chunk Bitcoin. So I guess going 100% to Bitcoin, you're essentially isolating, you're saying I'm not being a part of everything else, where, owning something like Ethereum, things are built upon it. And I would agree with Crypto Kyle on that. If you want my opinion, that would be one of my holdings, and agree 100%.
Yeah, when it comes to holdings, like if you are going to diversify, I would say pick a privacy coin, pick something like Ethereum where you're building dApps and like building other cryptos on it, ecosystem. Maybe if you really want to pick a coin that's used for spending, like Bitcoin or Ethereum Classic or Litecoin. Litecoin to me is dead. I don't think. I think it did what it had to do. It helped adoption, and it was supposed to be the silver of Bitcoin, and that didn't really work out, as we've all seen. People are going after real use cases. I think Litecoin's dead, in my opinion. Ripple is
What do you
dead.
think happened to Litecoin? I'm just out of curiosity. Like,
I'll start with Charlie Lee. He sold off, and that alone said that he didn't trust his own project long term. And then Litecoin was more like a fanboy thing. And back in 2017, it was the big boom. Look at all these cryptos coming in. We're gonna be the mini Bitcoin, and that was a good idea back then. But now people are like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, because I can get LinkChain, which actually is doing something with real big conglomerates. I could get ADA, which is they're setting up like a big fund or something like that. Wax is undervalued like a mofo right now. Wax, most people don't know about Wax. It's holding up the entertainment and gaming industry, and esports and everything is literally getting big. Digital NFTs. They're working with like Travis.
Yeah, Kyle, I agree. Wax is big, and we know Bad Crypto's doing their project on Wax. A lot of other folks
Yeah.
I got a question,
are doing
Crypto
stuff on
Kyle.
Wax. Where do you buy Wax? Because I don't know that it's.
Bittrex is one of the places, but if you ever want to know where to buy coins, you just go like this. You could use CoinGecko too, but I'll just use CoinMarketCap.com. This is just the OG. Binance bought them out, so take it with a grain of salt. CoinGecko, I think, is more legit, but you want to buy a Wax, this is where you would go. And what was that post I made the other day? SGX or something like that. I think it's going to get listed. It's going to be holding up the debit card for Binance. It was posted, then deleted.
Nice.
So anybody who's trying to like do a long-term play, I would suggest that.
Kyle, when you're done with this, can you check Pi for me as well, please? The Pi network's a really big deal in our life.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Bittrex is one of them. I don't like Bittrex, the KYC. I don't like KYC exchanges anymore. I mean, that's just me. Do what you got to do, but this is where you can get Wax, and I think they need to get on more exchanges. KuCoin's kind of all right. KuCoin's probably one of the better exchanges.
Crypto Kyle, I got a question for you.
What up?
How come you didn't tell me to buy Garbage Pail digital cars when they came out?
I didn't know about them until they were already sold out, and then I saw that one of them was selling for $25K, and I'm like, what? And then I was like,
I saw them on eBay. The prices are
ridiculous.
I don't want to say ridiculous, but they're definitely no joke.
I'm telling you right now, digital NFTs are gonna come out strong and banging. Here's your Pi right here, Christina. Upbit is all right. It's kind of like low cap.
Where would you go? Yeah, give me
Any
the
of these.
down low and explain Binance Dex for me. Like, what's the difference between Binance and Binance Dex besides it's a decentralized exchange?
Don't know that one. Couldn't give you an answer there. I need to keep
All
my
right,
eye on
so
my
when
charts.
the expert would be able to give me the deal there.
Yeah, that's I mean, I know about crypto trading mainly, and other things I like can dabble in and stuff, but I'm no expert in blockchain. I couldn't tell you.
Show me some of your favorites, man. Like, feel free to run fast. Our audience, they keep up or they Google it afterwards. So go really fast. Like, pretend you're at an expert level sitting down here with Steve and just talk about trading and what you would expect to see this week. We saw, you didn't catch us for Genius Wednesdays. I'll send you the link, but Steve, if you want to give him a little overview of your theories and then just kind of do some house chatter, man. Let's get technical with it.
I guess my 2 cents is that our data scientists have, I guess, basically backed a lot of my theories that the larger scale, I guess, crypto as a whole, which obviously is still 60-some% Bitcoin, but the money flows are moving in tandem. Like, if you see the Dow up 1,000, if you know the Dow is going to be up 1,000 points tomorrow, and person says, A, do you want to be long Bitcoin, or B, do you want to be short Bitcoin? I say A now, and Coin Genius has basically backed some of my theories with that type of data, where as long as the current administrations are going to keep handing out $600 a week and the equity flows are going to still be positive, it's difficult for me to say that things are worth being short. And that said, they're not worth being short until they are worth being short. But I guess until you see some of the major equities, crude, metals, Bitcoin charts really, really, really break, I don't see a longer term short as anything worth doing. That said, can gold go down $40 tomorrow? Yes. Can Bitcoin drop $300? Yes, but I don't really see the Bitcoin going from 9,500 to 7,500 unless you see the Dow drop 1,000 or 1,500 or things of that nature, where the powers that be seem to have quelled.
We could be on the precipice of those things, is what we talk about with COVID, with the supply chain disruption, with the price of meat and, edible commodities, the decoupling with precious metals is happening. There's a lot of macro factors that Kyle's audience would likely be interested in hearing about your thoughts on those.
For me, I've just literally stopped paying attention to stock market and all that other nonsense. I don't really care what it does. I just look at the charts and I hop in and I hop out. Like, if I see a chart about to take off, I don't care what the rest of the market's doing. This one looks like it's going to take off. I'm going to get in, I'm going to get out. And I'm going to sit in a stable coin and I don't care what happens. I could always short it or I can long it. I have that option. That's why I don't hold anything. Literally don't hold anything. I was holding Bitcoin for the past week and it went down and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Literally, that was my last straw. I'm like, I'm done. I'm just holding stable coin always. I'm done with that life. And for me, I don't really care what the market's doing. I just look at the charts, because as long as there's volatility and something's happening, I'll either long it or short it, or I won't trade. So I don't really care what's going on anywhere else. As a hedge, I'm into digital NFTs. That's my hedge, because long term, I'm collecting all the rare ones that I possibly can now. And then I have the power and the network when I feel like it. I've literally shut everything out to just trade crypto again. And I know I go through these phases. I did sports cards for the past month and a half while the market was doing whatever. I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'll never force trades like that again. Because I went through that already in February through March, and that didn't work out too well. So I'm just like, yeah, as a hedge, I'll go outside of crypto and hedge, not even in gold or anything like that. I mean, gold's pretty good, but I just look at emerging markets. So what's the emerging markets? Esports, digital NFTs, sports cards in general. I want to try to rank up my crypto so I can buy real estate when it crashes again and get a better house and either rent the one I have now or sell it. And that's how I'm playing. So if I'm going to play the long-term game, I'm just looking for major opportunities and major swings. Like, I'm not trying to like scalp gold or anything like that. I don't gold is so useless to me. I don't even enjoy holding gold. It's not fun to me. sports cards is fun to me because there's a game involved. I can see like what player's doing what. Are they on fire right now? Are they hurt? Do I need to offload this one right now? Can I get it graded? Can I find deals all over the place? It keeps me busy. Gold is
When you say
boring.
sports cards, do you mean actual like physical cardboard and sports
Yes.
cards? Do you mean
Yes.
just out of
Sports cards
curiosity?
or
That's how I put myself through college, like catching the bubble of Mark McGuire Olympic cards from 15 to 500. So I'm just curious, like what sport, not crypto related, just me and you talk, like what sports cards are like of interest or what like series or is there any specific? Or just kind of
I love
whatever?
basketball. That's the sport that I understand. I don't understand other sports, so I don't invest in them. As you saw too, by the way, I just closed this position. I just wanted to take some capital and I can just re-enter if I want. It cost me a little bit of money, but just in case it was going to keep going down, it's not, so I'll just re-enter. But I added extra capital over here, so it's not unrealized. It's now realized capital. So I took $75 win right there, but I'm going to re-enter.
See, Kyle, we do have one of the same theories. I don't know any person that I've ever talked to that's gone broke by taking profits. I know it's
Yeah,
a cheesy
so
thing, but it's like I guess, yours is definitely more of a, what I'll call a shorter term strategy where mine is far longer term. But
yeah,
I think that both, if I have a 1 month time horizon and I start looking at, tick charts, I'm going to go mentally insane where I think someone that is looking at 1, 2, 5, 10 minutes that starts looking at, oh, wow, look what happened this over a year. It's the same for them where I guess if I was going to say one thing to those listeners, I would say just know what one's time horizon is. Like if you're a 10-minute person, look at 10-minute charts. If you're a 1 year person, look at multi-year. If you're if it's a black box algorithm, just use the data. Where the worst thing I've ever done is breaking rule mid-trade. Like, oh, you know what? I know this can't. But when I start using absolutes, I'm wrong. So that's my 2 cents, Christina.
I just hop in and hop out. Like I like to play games on a short term and cycles. People's attention span lasts 2 to 4 hours, especially when they're trading. That's why you see a couple hours up, someone wants to take profit and go do something else. Like not everybody does what I do and sits in front of a computer from the time they wake up till 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning every day. Like it's literally what I'm doing. Sometimes I get stuck in trades and I'll do other stuff, but a lot of people have a life, they have a family, they have other things going on. I don't. My only objective is to make a killing in crypto and go take that and avoid investors so I can go do what I want to do. That's why I got into crypto. So that's how I play the game. So I try not to get into any leverage trades because I go higher leverage. If you're going lower leverage, you can go do what you do and get in, get out at a longer time frame. When I go high leverage, I'm trying to get that for like $100, $200, get that for $50 and just keep stacking and compounding. That's how I keep growing faster than most people. And that's my strategy. And that's just what I do. I'm not going to give away all of my like deep down dive strategies right here, but that's my general strategy. And the compounding game is how I try to play. So I'm
What's
just
the
trying.
highest leverage you know of an exchange doing now? 125?
Binance does 125, and they literally start you at 20 times. Watch this. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna open up a brand new chart, and let's see what happens. Let's see it. Let's see if it goes. No, it didn't work like that. Okay, let me try something else. All right. Let's go like this. Binance.com. I want to show you what Binance does. This is shady as hell. So like Binance is, they're the people that sell you the shovels and pitchforks. They make money by you losing. So look how they start you. 20 times leverage. They don't start you at 1 times leverage. They start you at 20 times leverage. They want you to come in here. Well, now it's at cross 5. I don't know why I did that, but it starts at 20 times leverage.
I see what you mean, though. That was the automatic drop
Yeah.
down. And just as a point of reference, 20 times leverage
It's
is
crazy.
higher than any institutional future on the CME at this time. So Binance's minimum is more leverage than the highest levered on CME.
Also, the difference between stock and crypto is you have to go through. I don't like this. I'm going to take a $21 hit. I'll just take my $21 loss because I made 75 there, and I'm going to free up my capital, which puts me above this point, so I don't have to pay the 25. So I pretty much break even because I have to pay a $25 fine. I don't like this chart now. It's starting. I think we hit this point and we need to breach it, and I'm not cool with that, so I'm out. So the difference between stocks and crypto is futures is that stocks will make you go through like some crazy paperwork in order to get leverage because they want to make sure you're not going to lose all your money. They also have a panic button on the stock market like we saw in the pandemic sell-offs, and it starts Monday to Friday at so-and-so time and closes at so-and-so time. Crypto is 24/7. Anybody can hop in and do any amount of leverage, even if they have no financial understanding of anything to do with crypto or trading, and especially unregulated exchanges. And that's okay. I don't know what's going to happen here. Last time one of that happened, it dumped. So I'm going to take my profit right here too at $82. Okay, I can always re-enter later. Big deal. I got my money. So now I got more capital and I could use that again. So yeah, I might re-enter.
And to all the listeners, I'd like to commend Crypto Kyle because notice how many people, there's many, and you, both of you, I'm sure can attest to this. How many guys are there on Twitter that guarantee wins, that only pick winners, that da-da-da-da-da? See, you hear myself and Kyle say, I've taken a loss here. I've taken a loss here. Guess what? I can tell you, I've taken more losses than probably every listener that's listening on this for the next 10 years. But the difference is if you lose a penny 100 times, but you make $100 one time, you still end up pretty well. And I guess that for me, listening to people that are willing to take both losses and wins and that are still there the next day and the next week and the next month, such as Kyle, those are people that I believe have the staying power versus the guy on Twitter that wants to sell you a subscription for $1,000 to Pump Group ABC, but he's never taken a loss. When I hear never taken a loss, that
That's a
one
lie.
becomes hard to,
Bullshit.
that becomes very, very, very hard to believe.
Bullshit. If you've never taken a loss, you're a liar. And I
Yes.
will never trust you. I don't care how good of a marketer or guru you are or whatever. Here's the thing. Back in the day, I would have advertised to teach more people crypto. But no advertising platform will let us do paid ads. So I'm just like, whatever. I'll just go trade. I don't really need students. It takes up a lot of my time. But I do want to help people as much as I can. And sure, I could get a little more capital out of it, but I think I way undervalue what I charge for this stuff because I think pretty much anybody who's not like brand new, I've worked with everybody in my group. I think most of them, not everybody's come forth, but especially in 2017, people made tens of thousands of dollars from my calls and stuff like that. So my thing is just like to show people how crypto is different. Maybe I'm like, because I was new in 2017 and I learned it all. I studied from 2016 to mid 2017. I turned 10K into $250,000, only spot trading with no mentor at all in 2017. I mean, it's kind of like really easy because it was so bullish. It was, you could buy anything, it would just go up. But the fact is that I game so much and play so much chess that I hate losing. I hate losing. I've been playing games since I was a kid, and that's all. I didn't have a TV growing up. All I did was play board games, card games, chess. And then I snuck in a TV. We weren't allowed to have that. I got a job, a summer job, just to have enough money to buy a PlayStation and a TV just so I could play games. So to me, this is a game. I don't treat this like capital. When people treat it like capital and put their emotion on it, you're going to lose because you're so worried about losing. And yeah, if you lose and you lose too many times, walk away. I've already hit six figures, with my inheritance check, that's one time, but I've hit six figures twice this year in crypto.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
I went ahead and invited a few folks. It looks like we've got Morgan Steckler that has
Oh.
joined us as well.
Nice.
And I invited a few of the other traders and folks that like to give input on this kind of thing. We'll see who's available on a Sunday, but really excited to kind of hear everyone's feedback. I know you have one particular lens, Kyle, and it fascinates me to try and understand how to bring the Coin Genius data in the lens that you need versus how Steve looks at it versus how Morgan looks at it. So all of this is really fascinating to me.
Anybody feel free to ask any questions. Just try not to speak over each other. See how I exited right here because I was like, I don't know. I know it's going up because we just started this trend, but I just rebought my position, but I already have a $75 win. So I just keep compounding. I don't care if it's $20 or $5,000. Yesterday, I could have closed at $1,000 when James was on with me, and I didn't. And then it went down to 600 something, and then I closed at 600. So I just left 400 on the table. Stupid. I should have just closed. That's the thing you got to remember when you're trading. Oh man, I got stuck in the 20 times leverage. I didn't even notice, man. So that's what finance does. You got to pay attention. The first thing you should do is always check your leverage. It's okay. We'll be fine. I didn't do a big position, but yeah, the main thing was with futures. Every little swing, just close your position and then reapply somewhere else because this right here could be half of what you just made because it's futures. So I mean, if that's only 1%, that could be 20% if you're using 20 times. Take your 20%. Either short it or you think it's still bullish, like massively bullish, and you don't want to lose profit in between there. Just wait for some sort of support and then rebuy. Just do that over and over and over, like many times a day. But know your charts. If you don't know your charts and you don't really get to know that chart, don't trade. So my suggestion for anybody that's new trading in general or trading futures is practice with like 20 bucks. Just try to time your wins. If you can get 7 to 10 out of 10 wins out of 10 trades, bam, there we go. Then you're doing awesome. Okay. If you can do that, increase your leverage, add one more element, one more figure, one more trade, one more strategy. And then once you get to where I'm doing like 10 or 15 things at once, because I've been doing this so long, I've tried everything and I've lost a lot of money, but I've also made a lot of money. How else in 4 days could I turn 1,000 into, it's actually like 5,100 because I added 600, but 500% in a couple days. When you see that compounding, what if it's 4 more days and I do 500% again? That's 25,000 off of 1,000 in like 2 weeks. So just keep doing that over and over. And how I control my wins is I just keep cashing out and sitting on a stable coin and always stay ahead of my margin ratio. So those are the main things. Anybody, I know you said there's more people, Christina. Anybody wants to ask a question, go for it right now. Add your mic and ask away, anything.
Hey Carl, this is Raghu. How are you doing?
What up, brother? How are you?
Good, good. I have a question on the DeFi. Can you explain more about DeFi, like how it works and what will be the value in the future?
Oh, the fee for when you're maker taker fee? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the DeFi,
Sorry?
like the comp, and then Ken networks.
Oh, like how much you're paying when you're entering or exiting a trade? Is that what you're asking?
No, it's the DeFi projects.
Oh,
that are coming,
DeFi.
right?
Oh, DEFI.
Yes.
In my opinion, news in general drives a price of a coin. Like the VeChain, I posted that link in the group this morning. If anybody read the VeChain partnership or thing, that's what drove the coin to go 50%, because people are like, oh my God, massive partnership, everybody get in. Nobody really cares long term because people's memory in general is short term. Even on social media, people, they go blast out whatever the hell they want and then they forget about it a week later. Same with trying to hold a true friendship. I probably have like 5 friends that I could call if I need to go to the hospital, who would show up right now no matter where they're at. They would fly in from like Europe if they had to. I don't have a lot of really, really good friends because people in general are just so short term attention span. So when you're asking something about DeFi projects, like that's a good long term. Look at like pull all of the DeFi projects. If that's the type of investment that you like to make and you feel comfortable trading that, then go find all of the information on those type of projects that you think is going to crack open in the industry and solve a real massive use case or massive problem in the world. And at some point you'll be sitting on that coin, or you'll be waiting on the sideline with your stable coins saying, oh, I just saw a news article, bam, hop in real fast, buy a low position, let it pump and sell it. Like, because if you're just holding, I'm going to hold it for 3 months, you can't dictate the timeline of what the crypto market's going to do. That's not up to you. So you could be losing money saying, I'm just going to sell in 3 months. Well, how do you know anything's going to happen in 3 months? You don't. So that's why I swing trade. I can more or less control my wins. If I like a DeFi project, or let's say I go here, I'm at $4. Okay. I don't want to hop off the screen too long because I'm trying to eyeball that. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we were at negative 2,000 on this one yesterday, and now we're only at negative 61. We were at negative 1,800 this morning, and there's my lucky 1111 that says we're going aggressive and I'm going to win. Okay, so let's go over here. So it's still in. See, remember also I sold out right here because I was like, oh, we didn't breach that. See, we're still struggling to breach this. So it's good that I took my $70 or what, $20 or whatever it was. I don't remember. And man, I took a win. I don't care how small it was. I didn't get stuck in that trade. So let's go here. ADA is kind of choppy, but I think it's good. I don't like that kind of chart, but
yeah, I like the way Crypto Kyle thinks, because your strategy is so much different than mine. But I got a question for all the listeners.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me just finish the question, the answer about the DeFi project. So here's a similarity. Okay, if you're looking into DeFi projects and you've got a big list of like, you've done your analysis, you got your one line, you've got your website links, and you've put your favorites list down. And you're like, I think these 5 are going to take over the industry. Okay, here's 3 projects right here that are privacy coins on the futures market. It would be the same thing as DeFi doing, like, which of these 3 privacy coins do you enjoy the most, and why do you like them, and why do you think one will take off over the other? Monero is I know the developers, and I know that they don't care at all about pumping the coin. They just care about use case. So more or less, this is not a coin to pump. This is more a use case coin to maintain your privacy. Dash and Zcash. Zcash is pumped more than Dash or any other coin. So this would be a coin that you want to trade if you're going to trade. If you want to use a use case coin, I would use Monero. Dash is more like it goes little either or. So, I mean, when you're talking about DeFi projects, just go ahead and pick whatever you think you like. And if you're going long term, just pay attention to who's active on social media, who's posting a lot, who's doing updates, who's maintaining their roadmap, who's doing partnerships, and stick to that strategy if that's how you want to play the long term game. Does that help you, Rags?
Yes. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, for sure, brother. All right, Steve, go ahead, bro.
Oh, I guess on the matter of DeFi or DeFi, whichever the correct pronunciation is, I feel that sometimes there's just these catchphrases, a la what I heard you mention, 2017, the white paper and what's your goal? We want to be the next Bitcoin. Well, guess what, dude? Did you Uber to work or did you Lyft to work? Did you ride share to work or did you Uber to work? Are you using the World Wide Web browser to trade cryptocurrency on Binance.com, or are you online trading on Binance? I guess DeFi, it's almost like a catchphrase where I feel
agree.
that there's some that are solid. I know that one that probably caught a lot of people's attention recently was Compound because of the sheer dollar amount. Whether it's real or not, that's what the market said. So I'd be a fool to argue what it is or is not worth. But I think all of what you said is if someone likes an area or sector, pick 1, 2, 3. Pick what you think are the leaders, not what I think or what this person or this person. You know, write down 3 that you think are the leaders, 3 that you think are the laggards, and 3 that you think are the middle. And from that, if that's your metric, you know, you want to be in the DeFi sector, so to speak, pick those 9. What do you like? Figure out why you like them, not why I like them. Like, you might like them because I like them, or you might like them because Kyle likes them, or so on and so forth. But I think, you know, really knowing why someone is in, like, I used to be told this. There was one sentence my risk manager would ask me every day when I left the office. He goes, "Are you comfortable with your position?" The minute I said no, he would just hit a button and it took me out. I'm like, "Why'd you do that?" He goes, "Steve, if I can't be comfortable, if you're not comfortable with your position, how can I be comfortable with your position when I don't even know what it is?" So that's, I know these are somewhat like cliche things, but I'm being totally serious. Like, I think just knowing about what one is in and knowing what its competitor, what its superior, so to speak, are just important things. I mean, I've heard Kyle say it. I've heard many others where being in something, you know, and this, mind you, this, if this is an investment, if it's purely a technical trade, I agree with Kyle. Like, you're either bullish or bear. There's nothing in the, you like it, you don't, or you're flat. There's 3 trades. That's really all there are. But, you know, just knowing why you're in something will go a long, long way.
Also, to add to that, you are absolutely correct. How many predictions has anybody here heard about where Bitcoin's going to go next? How many people have been wrong? 99.99999% of them. They're all idiots. Don't pay attention to what people predict Bitcoin's price is going to be at. Who cares? It's going to go where it's going to go. And the only thing that can gauge it is how much institution is going to use it, because they run the market, not retail. Institutions and smart money runs the market cap. Nobody else runs the market cap. Retail chases. Retail is guppies. Retail's chasing the next meal, right? And institution makes the meal and they grow the meal. So there is no crypto there's no crypto without our capital. I mean, without institution capital, because our capital is so small, it doesn't matter. It's meaningless. So it's like, who cares what anybody's prediction is? I don't care what a prediction is. All I care about is my 5 indicators, what the chart's doing, what overall world global sentiment is doing. Like, USA government is announcing they're going to do a crypto-backed coin, and they think they're so cool, but we're like the 6th or 7th or 10th government to say that we're going to do it. Other governments are already doing it. Like, we're not cool at all in tech. We're stupid. So I'm following Asian continents. The Asians are always ahead of the game in tech. Always. Like, what's Japan doing? No one really ever talks about Japan. I got a connect in Japan, really well connected. He doesn't even really know what's going on in crypto, but he's a tech guy. But he says, like, they buy their own specific coins and they think completely different how we do. So I'm following, like, who really knows what's up in the tech side, and I'm following what they're saying, and I'm making my own sentiment out of it. Like, NEO is a Chinese coin, right? NEO? NEO? Yeah, Chinese coin. The Chinese pump that coin all the time. Americans don't give a damn about it. We're pumping, like, it's the same thing in, like, what's selling or what's going viral on social media. over in America, we got stupid things going viral on social media. Over in other countries, they have completely different stupid or cool things, but we think they're cool because we're not accustomed to the culture, and they think our stupid stuff is cool because they're not accustomed to our culture. So it's like, since this is a global market and it's 24/7, 365, you got to kind of think how other countries or other people all over the world are thinking. I know like half of the people in our group are not from the United States, and that's really cool. And I love getting how everybody else is thinking from all over the world. That's really cool, in my opinion.
I
So,
agree 100%. I have global markets on Reuters on my phone pretty much every day from Sunday till 4 p.m. till Friday at 7 because, as noted, the CME opens at 5 o'clock Chicago time tonight and doesn't close till 4:15 on Friday, where oftentimes news cycles will hit various markets, not during the what I call premium U.S. news hours. And those are oftentimes, little pockets of volatility that many may not even see on a chart because they don't show up. But he who pays attention can oftentimes, kind of hit the ball out of the park while everyone else is sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like also opportunity. I don't trade stocks. I know that stocks is too slow for me and there's way too much information. It's more information driven, in my opinion, from what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. But
I'm more of a commodities person, actually, Kyle. I appreciate the fact that I could say a lot of, Bitcoin moves and gold moves. People, many will say, well, here's the reason why. But I've always tried to reverse engineer and say, if the headline was Bitcoin up $1,000, and that was all you read on the front of the Wall Street Journal, or Dow drops 1,000, and there was no author, no explanation, people be like, why? And I guess ultimately, why ask why? Like, you either won or you lost. It's like trying to ask, why did this happen after the fact generally means one didn't participate or one lost, because I rarely hear people say, oh, wow, I was long ABC and made 20%. Why was it up? Don't hear that very often. I hear the why when people didn't make it.
bam, look at this. So we're starting to breach this, and we're going to breach it, and we just need to bring that. So I could have re-entered right there, and it's still dumping a little, but we're going to go above, so I'm going to take a new trade, fresh one. And I want to show you guys something too, where I took a loss this morning, and I took a, bam, so there we go. Now I've entered my trade for 300 something bucks, whatever. We're going to break that soon. So watch what happens. I just don't see a rejection happening. Okay, so this is where I took a massive loss this morning, and I want you guys to learn from this. This is my big flaw. I buy too high sometimes. I get excited over a pump. I don't even get excited anymore, really. I just think, oh, I want to catch the rebound. So I don't know. I got somewhere around here for, no, it was like right here for a rebound. It was like right there or something. I cut the pump and I was like, okay, I set tiered buys all the way down because I thought, okay, we're going to just take off. We didn't take off. We started dumping and dumping and dumping. I didn't lose that much money. I had a $900 trade because I kept on adding and adding to try to lower my profit, point of profit. And I did, but it just kept bleeding. And then my other ones were bleeding because these were like down here. That was down here this morning. This was down. Oh, that's not the one. This was also down here this morning. And I was like, geez, Louise, if this just keeps going down, I was at 50%. I'm like, I'll just take a $500 loss because it's all playing money anyway. And I just earned it the previous couple hours anyway. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll get it back. I'd rather take a $500 loss than risk full liquidation any day of the week. I've already been liquidated, so I'm like, that's when I was used to doing 20 times leverage 2 months ago. And I was like, okay, I thought I had a strategy down, but that it took one big sell-off after a couple days of pumping, and I'm like, geez, and it was late night, and I was like trying to get a power nap. I woke up, everything was down, and I'm like, crap. Well, can't get money over there fast enough. Try to sell off positions. I sold off a couple, and it still kept going. I'm like, all right, took a loss. So constantly adjusting the strategy with less leverage, more high frequency trades. So now I use lower leverage, but I trade more often, and I try to catch more swings. And I'm still doing better than I did with higher leverage because I'm not getting in so many bad positions that might sell off and cost even more money. So I can handle little losses like that because at some point they're going to go up. So for me, you just got to be patient. Like, it's going down, it's going down. Oh my God, I'm losing $14. I don't care. It's going to go back up. That's why it's like, this might have been a little high of a buy. And if you look here, this was the first kind of little pump, and this is the second one, and they're similar charts. 1, 2. So I would say most of the time, crypto charts kind of have similar patterns, however they move. This one moves different than the choppy ADA that we showed earlier. That was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Some people like that. I don't. I like flow. I like a wave. I like hockey sticks. So this is kind of similar, but this is the bigger version. And anybody who's been in my group for a period of time knows that I was talking about triple mountain peaks and waves. So this would be 1, 2, and this might correct even. But I would, even if we get to here, I'll just take a little win of $50 or whatever. I don't care. I'll just take little wins. It doesn't look like it's dumping. Looks like we're just accumulating for a little bit. Even if we go about right here, I'll take it. If we don't, and we go to here, I'll just buy a position and lower my point of profit because I got over $1,000 on the side sitting.
Hey,
Plus,
Christina and Kyle, I have to drop, but I appreciate you guys having me on. And can you hear me, Christina and Kyle?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, but yeah, I have to run and help the kid. He starts camp tomorrow, which I'm so excited for because it's his first time in 4 months with a group of other kids. So I wish everyone a happy and healthy rest of the 4th of July weekend. I will talk to you guys tomorrow or later this evening.
Thanks for coming on, Steve, and thanks for sharing your info. Appreciate it, brother.
Sure, thank you for having me. All right, gotta run, guys. Bye.
Peace. I can't see who else is on, but anybody who wants to ask any questions at all, feel free to ask anything about crypto trading. It doesn't matter, specifically even more so futures trading, because I mainly only trade futures. I don't even do spot trading anymore. It's too slow for me. Learn on spot trading because futures longing is the same thing as spot trading minus the leverage. Yeah. Any questions? Anybody? Put on your mic and let me hear them.
No, not for me, Kyle. I'm just appreciating taking it all in.
For sure, brother.
I'm good, Kyle. Thank you for your time and thanks for explaining.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do some TA then, I guess. Let's do some mini TA, and anybody chime in at any point if you got a question. So, okay, this is our big wedge, right? So we had to break out this big wedge, and this was, let's see, time frame 7/4 at 9:43. Let's say the peak was about 10 o'clock. The peak was 10 o'clock sharp. Okay, I've seen a pattern. 10 o'clock p.m. PST. We typically see that's about 10 p.m., 9 to 10, or sometimes 11 p.m., but more or less on average about 10 p.m. is the peak of any pump on times that coins are pumping and then they sell off. PST time. So if that's you and you're looking for times to short or times to longing generally starts about 5:30 accumulation to like 6 p.m. and then they go for 3 hours or so, 3 or 4 hours. 4 hours would be the tail end. So if you're looking for coins that are about to break out, when I say a coin's breaking out, and there's levels of breaking out. It could be like, this is breaking out. This is just a little mini breakout, and it's still in a descending wedge. This would be a massive breakout. So this would be like, let's put 7. Wow, that's crazy. 7. That was only like 2.5 hours pump, and this was like 30 or 40%. With leverage, that could have been like hundreds of percent, like what I closed at yesterday. That's how I got so much extra capital from that V chain pump. This is crazy. We're going for a second wind. The bigger the pump, the bigger the dump. So if you get a big pump, you don't even have to wonder where the top is. You can just put in a short because you're probably not going to breach that. Even if it goes double top, it still is most likely to dump after a massive pump. So easy to gauge when to buy and pump up and then sell off, right? So you could do a win there and a massive win there, and you could pull in so much capital off this, more than most people making a 9 to 5 off. If you have a $1,000 trade, you did 15 times leverage, bam, bam, right there. That could be worth more than like 2 weeks or a month of work on a 9 to 5 job, just in 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, something like that. So, I mean, yeah, once you learn the flow of each chart has their own lifeblood. So this one's just creeping up this trend line. We broke out of this wedge, and now we're creeping up this trend line, which I started way over at the very bottom, the very, very bottom of the full entire trend. Okay, so that's where you start the trend. And the reason I didn't put it there is because we hit this point more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're staying on this line, not on that one. That's why I put the trend line up here where the points are touching at mini supports. Okay, so I'm expecting that once we get about right here or towards the end of this, draw it up a little longer. Once we get towards the end of this thing, I'm expecting some sort of pump, maybe not that big, but it could be, to get me over my point of profit. And I'm going to close this one because I've been in it so long. I've already paid $100 in fines to Binance for not having my capital on the side, which I do have now, so I'm not going to pay my fine. So you could also do mini triangles. Like this is drawing them helps you visually see it, but when you do so many of them, that's why I always post charts. I just don't do them. But if that helps you guys to see the charts where I'm putting support and resistance, this is obviously a resistance because that's where we peaked at. So I'd have to breach that in order to get to the next level, right? And so people like even round numbers. That's just the thing. 1,500 is an even round number. Sometimes they pump above because FOMOers or who knows what reason. Oh, I gotta check. Oh, I wasn't checking this trade. Ooh. Down 75. That's not a lot, but we're still within striking distance. So I still got capital on the side. Let's see what's going on here. Don't ever forget to check back on your trades when you're explaining things. Okay, so let's see what we got here. TA is built in. Just practice with these things. If you don't know what it does, go to TradingView, actualtradingview.com, and see what other people are doing, or use any of those 25 ebooks that I provide everybody in the course for free. Anybody can get them who's in the course. So they're all in login. So Elliott waves, people like that. I don't like getting too technical, like fib retracements and stuff like that, because that's more about numbers, and I'm not a numbers guy. I failed all my math classes, which is weird because I'm doing pretty darn good in crypto, more or less, I think, except for the times that I get wrecked. But you learn from those ones. So, like a fib retracement. Fib retracement starts at the bottom, goes to the peak. I don't think this is the bottom, but let's see. The bottom. So start at the bottom of the trend. So like, bam. You want to pull this guy over. Here, the peak. Typically, I don't count the wick as the peak there. So this is, you want to see like where does it sit, and more or less, it's always going to go to this level on a big pump and a big retracement. So I kind of can just adjust there. Something like that. So this would be our retracement level. You can see that we stayed within the blue on this zone and the red right here. So blue would typically be a good place to buy. Let's see here. Okay. Bam. So we're breaching the blue right here. You would put it down a little more if you want to get really technical. We're right here, and we're now going back in the red zone. So this is all profit zone if you were looking for buy opportunities. So that's how kind of you would use a fib. I don't use it all the time. If I really need it, I will, because it's too hard to visually see the rest of my TA. So I just put it in briefly and see what's going on. That's just me. Okay. Don't like this. Maybe I got a little hasty there. Got hasty there. Bought at the top. See, that's the thing I'll tell you not to do. Looks like this is the same chart as we saw over here. You might even dump. We might see it come up. Do I want to take a $29 loss just to get out of that one? Maybe. And then I can apply. No, see, we're pumping back up. We're good. Ultimately, we're bullish. So I don't think taking a mini loss like that would be worth it, in my opinion. I just need to breach this. And if I can get above there, I'll just take the win. Take mini wins, lots of them. Like I got lucky the other day because I bought at a E-chain. Let's see. E-chain. Ooh. I was at negative $2,000 this morning, like early in the morning. And now we're at negative 300. $1,700 difference right there. So if I would have shorted, I could have made $2,000 and I could have made another 1,500. So that cost me $3,500. Oops. So that's why you want to control your impulses so you don't end up doing something stupid like buying too high and then having to wait the whole time down for the rebound when I could have made money there and made money there. I could have made money there, 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 there. So if you can really understand the charts, like I should have seen the head and shoulders coming. That was stupid of me. I should have seen that. It was like almost obvious. Oh well, it's learning, and I'm still have way more capital than I did a couple days ago. So,
Hey, Kyle.
what's up?
I have a question. So we built something at CoinGenius that was like candlestick pattern recognition because certain things, you know, statistically, if you see it twice and then there's a third, then the third is where you actually want to pull the trigger. We wanted to get into like predictive analysis on candlestick pattern recognition. Can you tell the audience some things that you consider positive candlestick pattern recognition and negatives? I know they mentioned head and shoulders a lot in your thesis, but if you could do some explainers, that'd be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Head and shoulders is one of the biggest choppy patterns you'll see in a choppy market when there's no fluidity. So when Bitcoin was pumping for the rebound, let's see if I can pull up in a Bitcoin chart. My other charts are looking good, so I'll come over here real quick. ADA, I might actually hop in there. That's kind of choppy, but see how choppy these all are? There's like no flow. No flow. I like waves. I like smooth. Smooth like butter. Oh, before I get into that real quick, let me show you where I sold off at $500 loss. I bought in, I think I talked about this. I bought in like right around here or something, and bam, I sold off right there. I knew that it could have kept going, but I did not want to wait because I could have taken that extra capital to protect this, and then I could also take a little bit extra capital and enter small trades to make more gains to fluff up my margin balance. So let me pull open Bitcoin just so I can show you reference from flow versus choppy, so you can understand what I'm looking for in this market, because we always have to keep changing strategies as the market changes, and sometimes it will throw me off. I'm like, damn, just took another
Yep.
loss.
That's another thing that we track is the market regimes. And so we'll get much better about having those public in real time through our analytics.
Right here, I did 10,000 to 100,000. This is 2 weeks. This is the day chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I probably started about right here. I was so scared that after I sold off there, I did not want to get back into trade, even though this would have been massive gains. This destroyed me. Ah, yeah. Greatest learning experience of my life, and once in a lifetime. We'll never see something like that ever again, I don't think. Um,
We disagree. We think that you're going to see
think you'll
something
see
like
another
that
one?
again in the next 6
Think
months or
you'll see
so.
another
Yeah, in the next
90%
and
sell
like
off?
but before, yeah, we think into summer, as you're getting into September, and then as you get into the election years, they're going to have to do something for the economy again in September to stave off and keep the election positive. And then end of the year, crypto winter tends to be a theme. We see themes in November. We see things with everything slowing way down in December, and that's where the regime changes happen, where stock market be some way and things
You're,
fall down.
you're
Crypto goes
breaking up.
nuts. Crypto
Breaking
loves
up.
those times.
You're breaking up. You sound like a robot.
Sorry guys.
Mhm. Okay, so about the charts, what I'm looking for patterns. This showed me we were obviously going to break out something big here, and I'll go high leverage because I knew something's going to happen. That's how I did 10K to 100,000 in 10 days. 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't know. But I was using Bybit, and Bybit doesn't allow you to adjust your leverage across the bar. They stick you at like 10 times, 25 times, 50 times, and there's like, so I'm stuck with 25 times. That's BS. I don't want to be stuck with 25 times because I want to do something in between there. So that's how I got liquidated there off this part. And I was like, damn, okay, I need to get out of there. And that's why I got on a Binance, because I can adjust this. But right here, I mean, if I can do that in 10 days off this, I'm good to go. I just need to not let something like that ever happen to me ever again. So that's why I hop in.
That
My
was
strategy is
everything though. That was the whole world crashing. That was
yeah,
stocks, that was
everything.
COVID, that was supply chains. The concern is that we haven't even seen wave 2 happen yet.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was, we haven't seen wave 2 happen yet, and you haven't seen the food shortages happen that will have to happen because
Oh
of the
yeah.
supply chain. And that
Oh
is going to throw everything off. Meanwhile, you have the highest unemployment ever. People are scared. They go into hoarding, and you sell off positions, and you kind of get caught with your pants down. Like, people got to eat, right? And so crypto is one of the things that gets the most volatile in those kind of times, and that indicates a market regime change.
you know what? I agree for anybody who doesn't understand how to short a market or what to look for. If I would have done anything different on Bitcoin here or any of my position, because the Ethereum chart was kind of similar, I guess, at the point. I thought we were bullish right here, so I did longs. I thought we were bullish. That was stupid because I was on Kraken and I didn't have charts. I didn't use charts on Kraken. And then we had that sell off, and I'm like, okay, bring in more money. Let's do another long because I think that's the bottom. Because typically that would be a bottom. That typically what on a healthy market, we'd already done that correction and we were ready to take off right there. Bam. So if there's anything I would have done different, I would not use so much capital. I would have waited it out. And there is a strategy that I don't suggest because it's more guessing, but to do, if you're unsure, to do 40% long and 60% short. Like if you had $2,000, $1,000 of, or like if you had $1,000 and you did $400 for a long and $600 for a short, if the short went down, you might lose a little capital, but your long would balance it out. Rather just wait for a better opportunity than to guess on it. So I just sit on the sideline with stable, and people are always like, I want to accumulate more Bitcoin. Like, why? Why don't you just flip percentage and you'll get as much Bitcoin as you want? So right here, we're sitting up here. I know like a week or two ago, I was like, ooh, I think we're going to pump up. So it always switches. Like a week ago, it looked like we're getting aggressive, but this is just the futures. Futures chart is slightly different. We
Kyle, you
just as
leverage
easily don't.
bots, right?
What's up?
You leverage bots, right?
I've used a bot like, what's the bot? Thousand commas or something like that. 3 commas or something like 3 commas bot.
Oh, 3 comments. Yeah.
I
Okay.
tried
So
that one. I hate
not
bots.
but
I don't like bots at all. I don't like them. I like doing it myself because I know what's going on 24/7, and I don't want to let something else dictate my wins or my losses. If I know how I lost,
what do you
then I
have
can
for
adjust. Huh?
what do you have for advice that can't for folks that can't sit in front of a screen and trade all day? I know most of your audience are those folks. But for folks that want to diversify their portfolios, what are some of the other things that you've seen in the market?
First, let me answer your indicators because I was like minutes ago and I never answered that. But then I'll get right into this question. Double bottom and double top. If you're looking for data points, I'm looking for double bottoms or double tops. These are all so choppy. So it's like you got to just look for like mini breakouts. So if we're getting a lower high, it's like we're right here and we've been staying here and we got a little bit higher. Okay, I can perceive a breakout is going to happen, and it does. This is a lower high from this point. So you just draw up your chart and be like, yo, if I break this point, then we're going to break out. And that's one of my indicators. I just look for that. That's how I always make these calls. Like this morning I said, we're going to break out because we accumulated. We had our double bottom, double bottom, stayed on our trend line. We were going to break out. I called this morning. If anybody got on this, you would have made a killing right now. Ooh, that sucks. This one's having a rough time. I need this one to go up because it's negative 1400. Oh, we'll get back. We got enough capital on the side, and I can always close position. That's kind of what I would look for, and then I look for double tops. So we're having a hard time breaching this. Let's see here. See if we can find a double top. Still want these ones to. This would be kind of a double top, a mini one. The bigger the pump, the bigger the double top you're looking for. If we're just starting a trend, this is probably our first leg, and we're accumulating before we see. The more accumulation and slow accumulation, typically you're either going to see a bigger sell-off at some point or a massive pump and then a sell-off, which would be like this. Slow accumulation, sideways, not like sitting in this channel right here. I'll show you the channel. Bam. So this would be a channel. You can always change your color too. Like I use green for profit and red for like liquidation. Like any color you want, purple or whatever, doesn't matter. So we were in this channel, and we can even move this up a little higher. Ooh. Okay, we were in there, and we kind of bleed out, and eventually you kind of see it dip still higher than this point, and that's when you see a massive takeoff. So we didn't see a double top here. We just saw the wedge. Like if you have a massive pump, you're going to just look for a massive triangle to break out again. This sucks for me over here, but I still think, let's see where we're at. This is right here, our support zone. And let's see, I would not make it a thick support, make it a thin support. So I could probably adjust this wedge just a little bit, just to touch the very, very bottom there. Right there, and we still breached below it, so I still think we could probably go right down to here. And then if we can't hold that, we're going to dump down to there, which would suck for me. Which means I'm stuck in this position longer. But I think at some point it will break out, hopefully. So this one, I always adjust my charts and I keep the ones closer to profit over here so I can close out fast and then move them to the side. You know, keep the ones that take longer to get profit over on the left so they're out of my way. That's just my personal hand. So your new question, one more time, what was that one? I already forgot it. Christina.
Yeah, for the amateur who wants to be in crypto trading, but they can't be in front of screens all the time. What do you suggest for those folks?
Ooh. One thing, let me close this position because we had a cross here and we're below the crossover. If we're at a crossover, we might dump.
Yep, do your thing, man.
I don't think I want to take that chance. So I might take a little loss here. I'm just because I'm live, I'm being stupidly aggressive trading, but typically I'm not like this. I'm more careful. I'm gonna take a, let's see where we're at. 5726. Will put me back at 5600. I think we can dump. I think we're seeing a little bit of a head and shoulders here. I'm not seeing any green, so I'm just gonna take the loss and get out of that one and free up my capital. Okay, whatever. Typically, I don't trade like this. I don't look for losses. I look for wins. I'm still trying to get above that. Okay, so if someone can't trade as much as me, use low leverage, use small amount of capital. If you're doing futures or spot trading, I'll use a reference of futures because spot trading is typically the exact same thing as a long minus the leverage. So what would I do? I would try to keep it at 10% or less. I would only use 10 or 15% of my total capital or less to enter a trade and leave the rest on the sideline. In futures, you can get liquidated. Here's the calculator. You can find out your liquidation points right here. I'll do all this in a tutorial later, but that's a calculator where you can pre-calculate your trade ahead of time to see if it's something you want. Like, let's say I was gonna, oh, I like that. See, that's a flow. That's moving average. This is the flow. How's the flow of this chart going? Is this the type of flow? So that's a great indicator for the average person. Come back. Where'd he go? No, it went. That's the flow chart. That's what I would use if I was not going to be around my computer. I want to see what the flow's like and can I step away from my computer. If I want to step away and I don't mind all of these, the higher the leverage, the more I mind. If it's only 1 to 3 times leverage, this doesn't bother me because I know that I'm just waiting for days to break out and I will come back later. So I would be looking for big sell-off points or about to break out, and try to check my computer every 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, or twice a day, at least 3 or 4 times a day, just to see what the chart's doing and see if there's any adjustments I should be making. I sit here all the time because I'm constantly looking for new trades and new entries and making adjustments here and there on my trades like this that I get stuck in sticky situations. I'm almost out of this one, so that's cool for me. I could take that loss right now and free up $1,900 capital, but I don't want to take a $267 loss. $40 is nothing, but I think we're going to breach this. I would look for just breakout moments, like bam, something like that. Like even if we saw the first leg and we knew the triple mountain peak strategy, we know we're just starting to break out. So if you just got to look at so many charts and instead of doing Netflix for an hour a night, come look at charts for an hour a night, just various charts, and see how they flow and just like pay attention to them. Every chart moves different. Like this one does a lot of head and shoulders apparently, and it's kind of moves different than something like this, which is a lot of spike and correction. You see like the bull flag. This is another move. Let's go here. Just keep making your triangles. Like each one has different ways that it moves. This one took a little bit longer to break out. So something like it's a bigger triangle right here. Just got to always look for triangles. So just use your the 5 indicators that I talk about in the Binance trading tutorial on YouTube, and just use those 5 that I use, and those have been what I've been using for the past years, and they've seemed to be working for me. I just look for mini moments to break out, and if I can't sit here, I'm just looking for bigger breakouts. So either you're going to play the small breakout game, or you're going to look for the big breakout game. If we've been flat for a while, it's hard to predict, but back in the day, you just buy flat coins, and some pump and dump group will come and pump it at some point. So, I mean, that's a strategy in itself. So if you just want to step away from a computer, just look for opportunities. Like after pumped once, it's probably going to pump again on a second wind. So that's what I would do. Just go do rotate a coin and look around, see what's out there. If you want to use bots, go for it. I know people that use bots, and you'd probably get 30% in a month or a couple months or 3 months or whatever. You're not going to get a lot of percent, but it's a hell of a lot better than letting it sit in a bank account.
And keep in mind, the bots have to be reconfigured for market regime changes like that.
All the time.
It just basics. Like they require a lot of upkeep. It's a lot like having a puppy.
Yeah, bots are just as time consuming as sports cards. Or
Right.
bots are just as time consuming as trading by hand. And the only difference in a bot and trading by hand is the bot doesn't know when you have to make an adjustment real fast. It's already got its configurations, which takes time to configure. So it's not an AI bot. Like it's not that it's going to constantly better itself and become smarter and smarter and smarter. I wish we could do that. That would take over the game. Literally, that would be worth the money to just buy a quantum computer. But if I make an adjustment, or if I make a bad trade, I mentally beat myself up. People say, stop beating yourself up. That's the only way I'm never going to do it. It's like I still beat myself up about like buying this stupid high trade here. So after, it's not like a light switch. Even self-discovery, you're not going to automatically change who you are as a person. Eventually, you'll catch yourself doing something stupid. Small little habits, whatever. Like I bite my nails. I've tried for years to stop, and I got to sit there and focus. Same thing with buying too high on a trade. I should have shorted, and all I can think in my head is like, damn, I just wasted $5,000 in this and that other trade. I could have a $10,000 wallet right now off 1,000 rather than 5,000. Damn, I'm such an idiot. And that's what I do over and over and over and over. And then next time I don't do it until I forget again. So it's just like train yourself to do that, and then you're going to be much better than a bot, in my opinion. That's worth putting in the time. Like if a lot of people, they have real jobs, and that's why you can't be in a computer, spend enough time over time, get rid of Netflix, and just start studying and trading with small capital over and over and over and win and make losses. Just because I'm a mentor doesn't mean I can tell you how to win. Like some people are saying your training is incomplete, or I still don't understand, or I'm scared to try. Like Michael Jordan is not the GOAT because he watched someone play basketball. He went out there and made mistakes. He went out there and adjusted. He went out there and was in the gym 24/7. Kobe Bryant was in the gym at 4 a.m., especially after a championship, going to play Team USA with bags of ice on his legs. He was in the gym 3 hours before anybody else. That's how you get to be the best and make the most money. If you want to make a lot of money and quit your job, you have to learn how to compound. You have to learn. It's easy to make money. It's hard to keep the money. Just because I have 1,300 here doesn't mean I need to go apply it to a trade. A lot of people think like that. They're like, oh, I can keep compounding. I just got a big win. Oh, there we go. See, we are break even. $2,000 loss here. We're now break even, almost. You got to be patient, right? So
If this is your passion, you got to go for it, man.
I
I gotta wrap up for today, Kyle. I'm gonna have to button this up. I'm running late for another endeavor here.
Okay. Yeah. To be clear though, this is not fun. The only fun
It's
part
work,
is
man.
this is not fun. Like, I'd much rather be out like building tech and like making a movie right now, but I have to do this to avoid asking people for money to give me money to make a movie. So that's why
We'll
I
get
do
there
this.
too.
But I want to help as many people like learn this and make this unlimited liquidity. We have $250 billion market cap. There's no way you're ever going to not have a buyer or a seller in here. So all you got to do is learn how to do that and compound and control your emotions and keep gaining, and you can quit your job. Literally, I've done it. I don't work for anybody ever again if I don't want to. I have students,
There
but I
you
don't need
go.
them. So I just want to help
All
you.
right, Crypto Kyle, thank you so much.
Talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Peace.